So I wanted to try a new experiment, I guess you could say. I have an original Winchester 4082. They're called Forager shells. They're basically little, this is a 410, little shot shells, but in a rifle cartridge. And basically during war times, or just whenever, basically during, I think it was like the mid to late 1800s to about 1930s possibly, factories were making these. They were basically used to gather small game at short distances, and by short distances I mean like 20 feet, because the rifling in the barrel messes up the shot pattern. So yeah, I made one here yesterday, and I thought I'd just make a video on how to make one, since I think I'm the only one that's gonna make a video on this. There's a lot of information on them about the about them in 4570, so I'll try just to make one in another caliber. They're also pretty popular as a rat shot or snake shot in 22s. This is basically what I'm doing. So yeah, I made one yesterday, just as a test. I didn't shoot any yet. I'll take a video whenever I do shoot them. So in my case, I use a large rifle primer, and I use black powder because modern shot shell powder is way too high pressure for my gun. So I use black powder, or a substitute. I have real black powder, but it messes up the gun too much. So black powder, I used a fiber wad. I don't have a cushion of water for the shot. Then I put the shot, which is 7.5, and on top of that I put another just fiber wad, and then I did roll crimp. And it pretty much looks exactly like the original 4082 Forager shell I had bought at the gun show. So yeah, so first off, well, I usually dissect down, I'll deload, unload, I guess you could say, a 410 shell. So it's pretty simple. I'll just cut the crimp off, pour out the shot, and now I'll try something different. Instead of using a fiber wad, I'll use the 410 plastic shot cup, just to see, at least I'll have two tests that I could do to check if pattern is good. So whichever pattern is better, well, I'll make a like 5 or 10 out of them whenever I go shoot them. So yeah, I'll dismantle the shot shell and then I'll come back. I unloaded the shell, so there was a 410. You can see the crimp hanging off. I'm not gonna need that anymore. And here's a shot. I'm going with half an ounce of shot. I'll measure it here. I'm basically using whatever's in the 410. So I'll zero that. Dump it in there. No, I mean grains, so switch that. And that's 0.494 grains, or ounces. So it's almost missing 0.6 ounces to have half an ounce, but close enough. Yesterday I think I had like 4.7 ounces in it, so they were a bit off on that one. This one's a lot closer, so that's good enough for me. I'll put that aside. I have little containers, put that in there. Now you have to do my powder measures, because that's what's important here. I can't have too much powder or too little, because the shot's just gonna roll out the barrel. So now for me, I used I looked up data of 2.5 inch 410 shells, so it's 30 grains of black powder, and that's in drams. Like if it's real black powder, you have to measure it with measure it like by weight, or I don't know what it's called anyways, in a black powder measure. So since this isn't black powder, it's Pyrex, I'll just dump it in there. I thought I had a scoop in here, but I guess not. Need to go find one. I think I lost my scoop in a powder can, but whatever. So I measured out my 30 grains. I'm putting it in an empty case. This video is going to be a lot longer than it needs to be. And then after that, I'll take the trusty old shot cup. And you don't want any extra powder on here. I don't want to mix wax powder and shot shell powder. So it actually fits perfectly in here. I'll just push it down as much as I can. I cut down the little there you go, the little wad a little bit just because it was protruding just a bit, but now it should fit. Yeah. So yeah, take that. Then I just take a little stick, squish it down in there. And you see that's, well, can't really see anything. This damn camera, I don't know how the autofocus works, but I mean, looks, yeah, focuses on random crap in the background, but yeah, so I put that in there. Then the shot, I actually just use a powder thing, the funnel, and I'll dump it in there, slowly but surely, and it's gonna be a real struggle just to get that stuff in there. Well, first issue now that I ran into, I had to cut down the wad, but then my shots now, they don't want to all fit in, the whole half an ounce, because the wad has probably like a little bit more than 1/8 thickness at the bottom that I can't cut off. So the shot doesn't want to fit in, so I'll kind of just pour in whatever fits. And I still have to put a over shot card or whatever you want to call it on top of this. So I mean, it's filled to the top, can't see it, but I still have a little bit left in here. I'll smash her in there. Then last step, get the wad. These are just 40 cal wads. The step without the plastic is just a lot simpler because a lot less trouble. And then whenever the last step, I'll just do this off camera, but I crimp it. And there it is. I'll get a close-up shot of it there in a minute, but I just can't see anything, so god damn it. Okay, I threw a piece of felt over everything just so I have a clean background, but you can see the roll crimp there. Now the camera can actually focus on something. It's just a standard shell, so that's exactly how they looked when they came out of the factory. I think Remington, Ellie, I think it is, Peters, and Winchester all made some. And I paid a pretty penny there just to have the original shell. But yeah, so it's just a small game round basically. Take a cartridge, rifle cartridge, and load it up like a shot shell, and I'll keep you updated on what happens. If the patterns are good or not, I'll film that whenever I go shooting. So thanks for watching.